Hey, everybody, this is TJR.
And this is Robert Kinsler.
And so today, Geffen Records officially released information, or I should say, more information on the upcoming Rolling Stones album, Hackney Diamonds. And there has been some rumor floating around. Some of it has turned out to be true based on what we now know. But they announced the track list today. They also announced some information on who is playing on what songs. We did, of course, hear, that there would be appearances by people like Stevie Wonder and Lady Gaga, but we didn't know, what the involvements were necessarily. Although, once again, there were rumors circulating. There were comments on the video that we released last week about the new song where we reacted to it. So now we're going to talk about what we know and maybe also reflect back a little bit on our thoughts on the new song as well. So now that we've lived with it for a little while here. And so, anyways, though, shall we? You know what? Let me just read the song titles, and then we'll talk
Yeah,
about
do that.
who's playing on what. Yeah. So we've got, of course, "Angry," which of course we've all heard. That was the advanced single that they released last week. We've got a song called "Get Close," "Depending on You," "Bite My Head Off." I like that title.
I do too.
"Whole Wide World," "Dreamy Skies," "Mess It Up," "Live by the Sword," "Driving Me Too Hard," "Tell Me Straight," "Sweet Sounds of Heaven," and then finally, the one title that intrigues me the most, "Rolling Stone Blues."
Yeah,
That title intrigues me just to hear how they're going to approach that one.
exactly.
And yeah, so 12 tracks recorded in various locations around the world. We did hear some news about who might be guest starring, who was guest starring on the album, but let's talk a little
We
bit more about what we now know.
yeah, let's do TJ. So we heard, and the band mentioned it at that online event that they had. We did hear from, I believe, Mick Jagger at that event that Charlie Watts was going to be featured on two tracks. We now know that the two tracks that he performs on, one is "Mess It Up" and the other is "Live by the Sword." And "Live by the Sword" additionally features bass guitar from former Stones bassist Bill Wyman. And I think you were the one that noted last week it's been something like 30 years since he played on a studio track with the Stones or something like that, right?
Yeah,
And and
roughly.
yeah, so very exciting. And "Sweet Sounds of Heaven" features vocals from Lady Gaga and keyboards and piano from Stevie Wonder, which is pretty exciting.
That's
And then,
both on the same song, right?
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And then "Bite My Head Off" features bass from Paul McCartney, and "Get Up," and I'm sorry, and "Get Close" and "Live by the Sword" feature piano by Elton John. It doesn't sound like he sings on the album, but he does play piano on it. So this
Yeah.
is a lot of big news we got confirmed today.
That was to me like the big surprise. Elton John, really? He's going to be on this? So, he's been, of course, he has never stopped collaborating with other people. This news, well, I definitely want to talk about this, but this news here brings to mind a comment that we got last week on the video that we did where we, discussed the new song. And if you haven't seen that video, shame on you. No, we'll leave you a link. But there's a video here from a commenter at Lumpy Gravy 52. That's a reference to the Frank Zappa track. But anyways, Lumpy Gravy 52 says, "I don't know what kind of rock record this is going to be with McCartney, Gaga, and Stevie Wonder on it. Why?" I have to kind of like really question the hell out of that because I mean, first of all, McCartney, incredibly inventive, creative bass player. Yes, I know McCartney. He does wonderful pop, but come on, rock
Hey,
show,
hey, TJ, can you say "Helter Skelter"?
Helter Skelter. Yes, yeah. It's like because McCartney doesn't know rock, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's great that he's playing bass on a song. So much for that whole Paul McCartney Mick Jagger feud, I guess. We had kind of speculated a while back that was all staged just to get attention to both of their projects that were going on at the time. And who knows, maybe we were right about that. And then Stevie Wonder, have you ever heard Superstition or Higher Ground? I know these are soul songs, but they rock too. And
Yeah, they
during the
do.
70s, during the 70s, rock, soul, we were all playing footsies with each other. And you listen to the Stones and so much, funk and soul going on in their music. It is rock, but there's a lot of funk and soul going on. You listen to Led Zeppelin and, you hear some of the James Brown and Led Zeppelin. If you don't hear it, then you need to go listen to some James Brown so you can start recognizing it. Lady Gaga, I want to talk about her for a moment. When she first came along, Lady Gaga, I don't know how many people remember this, but when she first started hitting big, I remember listening to her stuff and thinking, this is the worst stuff I've ever heard in my life. And I know I don't often talk this harshly. I'm known for being very reserved, but I just thought it was utter garbage. And I was very open about it. And then sometime later, she appeared doing a duet with Elton John, and she's playing piano and she's performing and singing. I'm thinking, wait a minute, she's good here. What happened? And then she does that tribute to Julie Andrews on the Grammys. And it's like, Julie Andrews, one of the most impressive female voices in the world. I don't care if she's not rock. She's still this impressive, vocalist. She's pulling it off and doing an amazing job. But it's like, oh, okay. She has talent, tons of talent. She just did crappy music just so she could chart. And now that she's charted and she's got a name, now she can show the world that she has actual talent. She did that performance with Metallica. I know the sound was butchered on TV, but if you go to YouTube, you can find that performance without the way they butchered it on the TV performance and hear the actual audio, and it's great. She was great, with them. So yeah, I don't see any problem with her being on a Stones album or any of these other people for that matter.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think I mentioned to you briefly too. I had caught her headlining performance at Coachella one year, and she was very impressive as a pianist, singer, and she's one of the singers I think that can flat out probably sing anything, jazz, rock, country. She did an Americana album. So yeah, she's a very impressive artist, and I look forward to seeing what she adds to the mix. I think it'll be fun and interesting.
I look forward to all of these, especially Bill Wyman being back. But there are two names that we thought would be featured on this list that weren't. Do you want to talk about those real quick?
Yeah, real quick. At least the rumors that I've heard, and I thought one of them even Ringo talked about, was I didn't see Ringo Starr or Mick Taylor mentioned in the media release I received today. So I don't know if they recorded some tracks and those tracks are not on this album. I just don't know, TJ. I haven't had time to do any more digging today. I know we wanted to work on the video, but maybe some of the viewers out there, maybe they know something we don't, or maybe they've heard
some rumors.
Rumors. But I believe that they recorded more songs than that are on this track listing.
Oh, sure.
The album. So we'll have to see if those come out as bonus tracks, or maybe there's a bonus box set at some point or something like that. So, I'm sure there'll be something else down the line for us to get excited about and discuss again.
Maybe they'll get mentioned later. I don't know, but just thought we'd talk about that too. So it's been about a week since we talked about the actual track. And in that time, there's been a lot of comments from a lot of people. Some of them, first of all, if you didn't see the video we did last week, again, shame on you. But we were both kind of, I guess, tepid about the new track. We both kind of felt like it's not a bad song, not a great song. My feeling was it's fine. It's pretty good. I was hoping maybe for a little better, but it is the first single. And I remember you had commented, you had called it, and I thought it was a great comment, that it was kind of start me up light.
Right.
And I should tell you, I didn't like Start Me Up back when that song came out. I did not like it. I kind of accepted it after a while. I haven't really enjoyed it until I actually recently picked up a copy of Tattoo You, a vintage 80s vinyl, and enjoyed it a lot more hearing it on vinyl than at any other time. Of course, the rest of the album's fantastic. I love the rest of the album. But yeah, I never cared for that song either. And sometimes advanced singles are just meant to hit a certain demographic. And maybe I'm just not that demographic, and maybe you aren't either.
Yeah, exactly.
But we don't. And I just want to say to people, I know some people were like, oh, I don't agree with you, but hey, that's cool, But other people were a lot more like, offended.
Yeah, they
We
were.
didn't think it was the best thing ever. And really, you shouldn't take it personally. It's just an opinion. We don't hate the song because some
Yeah.
people acted like we did hate it. We don't
No,
hate the
we
song.
definitely did. No,
It's fine.
like you, I enjoy it. And what probably impressed me most about it is just how good the Stones, more than 60 years into their career, the
Yeah.
fact that they can still be rocking and bring it,
Yeah.
that what an achievement. And it's not like they sound good for 80-year-olds. It's like, no, they sound good, period.
Yeah. They sound
So
good. And I
yeah,
agree. I agree with that. Yeah. And a lot of people brought that up. Hey, they're in their 80s. They're in their 70s. They're in their 80s. What do you expect? It's like, we're not saying they didn't sound good. There's a difference between sounding good and there's a difference between just sounding good. You can and then a song that is like good or pretty good versus being great. That's all.
right.
It's just the difference between that. That's all. You can sound good
Exactly.
on a great song. You can sound good on a song that's just okay or pretty good. You know. So yeah, hopefully we make that distinction. There was a comment here that I want to share. Another one I want to share from a viewer here. Let's see if I can get this handle right. This is from Bill of BTON 4502. And this comment was just from a day ago. So he wrote, not surprising to me that in order to sell this mediocre song, that's much harsher criticism than we gave it.
Yeah,
The video needs a hot woman and footage of the band in their prime. I would want to kind of talk a little bit about the video at this point because we talked about the song.
mm-hmm.
We did not talk about the video.
Right,
And
exactly.
I specifically avoided it because I didn't want the video to influence my thoughts on the song. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. No, TJ, I agree. I watched the event where they premiered the video, so I saw the video. I was blown, obviously you notice Sydney Sweeney, the actress, and all that. But also I was blown away how they incorporated the billboards and kind of like the Sunset Boulevard culture I remember back in the 70s and 80s in Los Angeles, and stuff. And it conjured up those great memories. And the Stones would have been younger, 40, 45 years ago and stuff. I didn't have a problem and think, oh, they're trying to pretend that they're younger than they are. I thought the video was very creative and they're not the first band to have, young women in their videos. Okay. So, I don't think they should be attacked and targeted too much for doing that.
This video used the same tactic that Scarlett did, which was that vault track they pulled out for the Goat's Head Suit anniversary edition, and which I thought was a much better song, by the way. But that uses the same technique. You don't see the band. You don't even see animation of the band like you do in this video. You just have a hot girl, in the video. And that was one of the reasons why I avoided listening to the song through the video, because I didn't want to be influenced by the imagery. I want to just hear the song. I have to kind of wonder how much the video influenced some people's opinions about the song. I'm not saying your opinions aren't valid if you watch the video, but I do have to kind of wonder sometimes. I think that's a topic that we could discuss at some future date about how much does the imagery in a music video affect how you feel about a song. Even if it wasn't a hot girl, I avoided it because I just didn't want the imagery to affect how I thought about the song. I just wanted to think about the song. And I do have to wonder about that because there have been songs that I've heard over the years that I thought were maybe pretty good to not even liking, and then seeing the video and my whole opinion turns around on it.
Mm-hmm.
That has happened to me in my lifetime. I don't know if it's ever happened to you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's happened to some of you out there as well. But I think that's a topic we could address at some future date. But I do have to wonder how much the video plays into people's reaction to the song, because it is a very creative video, very inventive. The use of the animation, taking these older images of them when they were younger.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty original in that way. So yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if they have other music videos and what kind of tack they take, with those. So. But like you, I made sure to listen to the song apart from the video, because then you're focusing in on
just
the song itself and the verses and choruses and musicianship and all that, all those good things.
So one other piece of information we thought we'd talk about. I don't remember if this was mentioned in the press conference. I'm guessing it probably was, but I don't remember it. I know it's only been a week ago, but that's what happens when you get old. You forget things easily, damn it. But this album, it says here in the press release that you shared, the information you shared today, This is the first Stone's first album produced by producer and musician Andrew Watt. And so, just real quick, we will discuss him a little bit. He is very young, born in 1990. He won the 2021 Grammy Award for Producer of the Year. I'm going to name off a few of the artists that he's produced, some of which I know will make our audience scream with terror, and some which they will, of course, say, oh, good. Whew. Go like, oh, thank goodness. But he has produced Justin Bieber, Miley Cyrus, Ozzy Osbourne, Pearl Jam, Iggy Pop. He is also the guitarist of the Earthlings. This is the backing band for Eddie Vedder's solo performances. So he's part of Eddie Vedder's band too. I wonder if he produced Eddie Vedder's Earthling album.
Yeah, I don't know offhand. I know
I love that album.
I guess we can later on.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that. I'm curious. But, that's should tell us quite a bit. But anyways, just thought we put that out there. Let us know what you think of all that. But basically, we just wanted to do a quick update on some of the information that's been out. I'm guessing we'll probably get at least one more advanced track before the album comes out in October. At least one more. The typical pattern I've seen with most artists on their pre-releases is 3 advanced tracks prior to the album dropping. This is the Rolling Stones. They may decide not to do that because they're the Rolling Stones,
right?
Crying out loud, and they can do that if they want to. But hopefully they might give us at least one or two more before the album comes out. I'm hoping so. Tell us what you think. What are your thoughts? Are you even more excited? Are you horrified? Let us know. But either way, just thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody who commented on last week's video, who watched and commented and really helped push that video over the top as far as, views and everything. We really do appreciate it. Even the people who thought we were, total idiots, we thank you too very much for that. We appreciate you and appreciate your support. But thank you so much, everybody. And let us know your thoughts on this new round of information. We'll look forward to reading what you have to say. As always, if you like these videos, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell notification icon. And thank you, patron supporters. Patron supporters do receive exclusive weekly videos not available on this channel. And anyways, though, any other last words, Robert? Any other last thoughts or comments?
No, the thing is ever since we did hear Angry, I am getting very excited. I mean, now I'm thinking, we're only like 5 weeks away from the release, their album. So it's, that's going to go by quick. And I'm really looking forward to hearing the new album. Hopefully we can get together and discuss it. I think it should be a blast.
I think it will be, yeah. And I just remembered something here. A while back, I posted a video on the Patreon page about the Rolling Stones Beggars Banquet album, where I just briefly talked about why I singled it out as probably their most important album. I've been expanding that into a longer video. This is just a little preview of what's coming. It'll be hopefully coming out, hopefully in October, but where I will discuss that album in a lot more detail. And that this will be the first in a series of videos where I discuss different albums. And so be on the lookout for that. And hopefully you could show some support for that when that comes out. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Robert, thank you so much for joining today. Really appreciate you taking part. And again, we'll look forward to hearing what you have to say. Take care, everybody. We hope you all stay safe and healthy. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.